Hello students, welcome in my channel Amazing Chem Path. So student, in today's lecture we are going to start new topic, chemical equations. What is the chemical equations? What is the criteria behind that we are going to discuss. What is the chemical equations? So students, in the previous lecture already we have studied the chemical reactions. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss the chemical equations. What is the chemical equation? So in simply we can say that chemical equations are the symbolic representation of chemical equations are the symbolic representation of chemical reaction. Means what, students? Chemical equations are the symbolic representation. Means by symbols we have to represent the chemical reactions. Whatever the chemical reactions are there, we have to represent by the symbolic representation with the help of symbols and formulae. Okay, so this is the simple concept about the chemical equations. So chemical equations are the symbolic representations of the chemical reactions, and with the help of symbols and formulae we have to represent the chemical equations. Okay, so let us see what is their actually the meaning with the help of examples. For example, suppose carbon reacts with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. Understand? This is one chemical reactions. And in this reaction, now you can see the carbon and oxygen reacts and gives the carbon dioxide. But now same chemical reactions we have to write with the help of symbols and formulae. As I told you, symbols and formulae we have to use to write the chemical reactions. So that is nothing but the chemical equations. So symbols for carbon is C, symbols for oxygen is O, but here oxygen molecules you have to take O2. So it gives the product, that is the carbon dioxide, CO2. Understand? So this is very important. So see, carbon symbol is C, oxygen symbol is O2, and carbon dioxide symbol is CO2. So in this way, this is what? This is the chemical equation of above chemical reactions. Understand? Now you can see this is the symbols and the formulas. So by the symbols and their formulas we have to represent the chemical reactions. So that is nothing but the chemical equations. Understand? Now one important discussions we have to do here. So this part, carbon and oxygen, is the part of the reactant side. So this is the reactant part. Okay, so these are the reactant part. Okay, while this part which is formed in this chemical reaction, it is a product side or product part. Okay, so a reactant part and product part. Now what is the significance of the chemical equations? If we ask you significance of the chemical equations, what is the significance? What is the significance? So the first significance is there, the reactant in the reactions, in the chemical reactions and the chemical equations, the reactant is always the left sides. Okay, so reactant is always in the left sides of the equation. Clear? The second is there, product. Whatever products you get in the equations is always right side of the equation. Understand? Third important significance is there, in between. Suppose in some chemical reaction, now in this chemical reaction there is only two reactants are there, but you suppose 2 or 3 reactants are there. then we have to add the plus sign between the reactants. Similarly, if in the product side now only one product is there, but sometimes 2 or 3 products is there, so there also you have to write plus sign. So use the plus sign. Use plus sign between 2 reactants and products. 2 reactants and products. Understand? Very important. And finally, another one significance is there. Shows the arrow between the reactant and product. So, reactants and product, we have to show the arrows towards the product side. So, shows the arrow between reactants and product. So this is some important significance you are going to understand from this. See here once again. So C plus O2 gives CO2. This is our general equations we have prepared from the above examples. What is the important things of the significance of the chemical equations is that this is the part of the reactant, first thing, correct? So this is the part of reactant, this is the part of the product. Now left side part is always a reactant part, so that only I mentioned here in the significance, and product side part is always the right side part, so that also we have mentioned here. And then between the reactants, correct? Now here we have used the plus sign, correct? So between 2 reactants plus sign is there. Similarly, suppose here any other product is there, we have to use the plus sign. Understand? So this is the meaning actually in the third point is there. And lastly, fourth point is there. Between the reactant and the product, there is the arrow which shows that the product is forming that side. Correct? So this arrows represent product is forming this side. Understand? So this is the very important discussions about the significance of the chemical equations. Understand? One more important things I have to discuss with you here. So that also you have to keep in your mind. Suppose now this is the part of our discussions. Now in this equations, if you are going to see, this is the part of the reactant, this is the part of reactant, and this is the part of the product. If you are going to calculate the number of atoms in the reactant side, in the product side, so just count it. So carbon is 1, oxygen is 2, correct? So this is the total 3. 1 plus 2, 3. So now in this side also, product side you have to calculate. Carbon is 1, oxygen is 2. So 1 plus 2, total 3. The number of atoms in the reactant side and the product side both are same. That is very important. So if the number of reactant sides atom and number of product sides atoms is exactly same, so here 3, here also 3. Such a type of equation is known as balanced chemical equations. Balanced chemical equations. Understand? Balanced chemical equations means what? The equation which shows the both the side number of atom, both means reactant sides and product sides number of atom is exactly same. So such type of equations is called as the balanced chemical equation. Suppose sometimes in some chemical reactions number of reactants and number of products is not matching, correct? So they are unbalanced, we can see that. So such equations is called as the unbalanced equations. So number of reactant side atom and product side atoms is not matching, correct? So that is the unbalanced equation. Unbalanced equation. So unbalanced equation is also known as skeletal equations. Skeletal equations. Keep in your mind, this is very important discussion, students. So what is the skeletals or unbalanced equations? The number of reactant sides atom and number of product sides atoms is not matching. So at that time such equation is called as the unbalanced equation. It is also known as the skeletal equation. While it is matching both the sides number of atoms, the reaction sides and products are matching. That is the balanced chemical equations. Understand? So देखिए बच्चे, आज हमने जो टॉपिक आपके लिए लेके आए हैं वो है केमिकल इक्वेशंस. तो केमिकल रिएक्शंस के बारे में हमने पहले डिस्कस किया है. तो केमिकल रिएक्शंस क्या होता है कि आपको मालूम है. तो उसके बेस पे केमिकल इक्वेशंस बनाते हैं. तो केमिकल इक्वेशंस में आपको सिंबल्स और फॉर्मूले का यूज करके हम केमिकल रिएक्शंस जो देते हैं हमें उस पे केमिकल इक्वेशन बना सकते हैं. तो सिंबल्स और फॉर्मूले हमें यूज करना है और केमिकल इक्वेशंस हम उससे बना सकते हैं। तो ये सिंबॉलिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन है केमिकल रिएक्शंस का। ओके, तो केमिकल रिएक्शंस का सिंबॉलिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन है केमिकल इक्वेशंस। तो उसमें हमने एग्जांपल्स लिया था, कार्बन ऑक्सीजन का रिएक्शंस होगा तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बनेगा, वही हमने सिंबॉलिकली बताया अभी। कार्बन का C होता है, ऑक्सीजन का O2, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड CO2। अंडरस्टैंड? तो ये जो पार्ट है ये आपका रिएक्टेंट साइड पार्ट है, लेफ्ट साइड पार्ट बोलते हैं हम इसको, और राइट साइड पार्ट है वो प्रोडक्ट साइड वाला पार्ट होता है। तो ये प्रोडक्ट हो गया आपका, ठीक है। और ये दोनों के बीच यानी अगर 2 रिएक्टेंट हो गए, 3 रिएक्टेंट हो गए, दोनों रिएक्टेंट के बीच प्लस साइन यूज करते हैं। सिग्निफिकेंस के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया। ऐसे ही प्रोडक्ट में अभी तो इधर एक ही प्रोडक्ट है, अगर प्रोडक्ट बढ़ गए तो प्रोडक्ट के बीच में भी प्लस साइन यूज करना पड़ता है, ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट रहेगा। उसके बाद में दोनों रिएक्टेंट्स और प्रोडक्ट के बीच में हमें एरो दिखाना पड़ता है, ठीक है। तो एरो रिप्रेजेंट्स क्या होता है, इधर से रिएक्टेंट है, इधर के साइड में प्रोडक्ट है, क्योंकि एरो का रो जो है इधर दिखा रहा है, ठीक है। तो ये भी हमें इधर सिग्निफिकेंस में नोट डाउन करनी चाहिए, ठीक है। तो बच्चों अभी उसके बाद में हमने क्या पढ़ा, उसके बाद में मैंने आपको बताया कि ये कार्बन रिएक्टेंट साइड्स का पार्ट जो है कार्बन ऑक्सीजन, इसमें नंबर ऑफ एटम्स हमने कैलकुलेट किए। तो नंबर ऑफ एटम्स इसमें 3 है, कार्बन का 1, ऑक्सीजन के 2, 1 + 2 3। ऐसे ही प्रोडक्ट में काउंट किए तो प्रोडक्ट में भी 3 आते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये 3 इधर भी है और 3 इधर भी है। अगर रिएक्टेंट साइड के एटम और प्रोडक्ट साइड के एटम दोनों मैच हो रहे तो ऐसे इक्वेशंस को हम बैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशन बोलते हैं, बैलेंस। इधर लोग तो अगर कभी कभी हमारे इक्वेशंस में ऐसा नहीं होता कि रिएक्टेंट साइड के एटम्स और प्रोडक्ट साइड के एटम्स मैच नहीं होते, इधर 3 रहेगा, इधर 2 ही रहेगा, या इधर 3 रहेगा, इधर 5 रहेगा, तो ये अनबैलेंस हो जाएगा फिर, बराबर है। तो इक्वेशंस कैसे हो गए, अनबैलेंस, इसलिए उसको पता है अनबैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशंस। अनबैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशंस को ही स्केलेटल इक्वेशंस भी कहा जाता है। अनबैलेंस केमिकल इक्वेशंस को क्या कहा गया है, स्केलेटल केमिकल इक्वेशन। तो याद रहेगा ये पॉइंट्स, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन है आपके लिए, बेसिक पार्ट है केमिकल इक्वेशंस का, तो याद रखना है ये। तो बच्चों ऐसे चैनल को शेयर कीजिए और लाइक कीजिए और अपने आने वाले वीडियो अपने फ्रेंड्स तक भी पहुंचाए, क्योंकि हमारा मकसद ये है कि अपने अच्छे वीडियो अपने फ्रेंड्स तक पहुंचाना है और उनके स्टडी में हेल्प करना है। थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू, हैव अ नाइस डे।